August 26th for the public hearing. Mr. Hernandez for A1 proposed 2024-2025 budget.
Yes, sir, good afternoon.
Dr. Hernandez.
We start with the public hearing for the proposed 24-25 budget and tax rate.
You guys have here.
For agenda for today, we have an introduction, budget highlights, property values, 24-25 proposed tax rate, 24-25 proposed budget, and the general, the budget by function. So, the purpose of this meeting is to communicate the financial plan of the district to the Progreso ASD school board, the Progreso ASD departments, and the community. On the budget highlights, we have historical data for the Progreso ASD enrollment and ADA. We have 5 years of historical data. This data is used to calculate, it's used by the state and the school district to calculate the state funding. This year we're proposing, or we are projecting an enrollment of 1,406 students with an attendance rate of 1,240. Property values, this is compiled by the Hidalgo County Appraisal District. Also, we have a historical data for 3 years. You can see on 2023, which is last year, we had an increase of almost 90%, or 90%. And this year we have an increase of 3.67, or 3.67%. As you can see on 2023, even though our taxes went down for the school district, due to the property increase, some of them had to pay more taxes because of the property value. And it was just not Progreso, but it was county and statewide. For the proposed tax rate, we're proposing a total tax rate of 1.3029, maintenance and operation tax rate of 0.7892. On this maintenance and operation, the district has the option this year, only as a one-time option, to add 12 disaster payments. And this is due to the windstorm that we had back in 2023. This, like I say, this is only one time, and this is gonna be used to repair some of the damage, like the technology roof, the FFA board, the DDMS roof, and also to pay for salary increases. The interest and sinking, this year is 0.5737, 0.5137, and this is to pay for bond payments, which for bonds that were previously approved by the community. The projected revenue is 17.7 million. If you see on the middle, we said foundation school program and available school fund. That's the state funding, and is based on ADA, which I presented earlier. For expenditures, we're projecting expenditure of 60 million. We have some additional proposed budget addition, which is step increase for teachers that we always do every year. We have an increase, but for now it's going down.
If you remember, during our last meeting, we presented the compensation plan, and we're gonna need your guidance as to what route you wanna take. The different options. If you look at the first option, it would be 3% increase across. All teachers, all paraprofessionals, all professionals would get the 3%. However, in our conversation, I know that we want to take care of our teachers when it comes to competing against other school districts like Westlaco. So we have option B, also give $1,500 to the teachers, or C, give them $2,000, or D, give them $2,500. Now, another thing that we talked about was the step. Right now we have our step at 20 years of experience. We have some teachers that already have 22, 23, 24 years of experience, and we would like to add them to the step, at least to give them $1,000 every year after the 20 year, instead of having the cap at 20 years to extend it to 25.
Also, in there in the budget, we have 25 additionally, contribution to the health insurance. We have been doing this for the past 3 years. Our goal is basically to have the basic health insurance paid for by the district for all employees. In the end, we have our summary by function level. As you can see, we have instructional, how it's gonna be allocated among all departments. Our general fund balance will be total revenue of 17.7 million, total expenditure 16.5, and excess or equals 1.2. We have our cafeteria, which is 1.6 million in revenue, our expenditure 1.6, no excess, and our debt service as well. We're projecting 22,000 in excess.
Also, I have the stipend proposal. We talked about it last time. And on that, I had a conversation with Lupita. The first and second page is a proposal from the athletic department. Our athletic director, Mr. Gonzalez, and I sat down and we talked about some of the changes that we want to make this year to compensate our coaches. Our pay plan for the athletic department has been like that for the past 20 years. They have not received anything for the past 20 years. And then if you go to page 4, after talking to Lupita, we had 2 other stipends that I did not put last time, which was the band director and the ag instructor. About 7 years ago, we changed their days. They used to work 226. We put it as a regular teacher, which is 187, and we gave them the stipend, so they're working throughout the summer as well. And then the rest, we already talked about those.
Use the budget like the presentation.
All right, thank you, Mr. Hernandez. At this time, we're gonna be one, which is the proposed 2024 budget and tax rate. Any public comments at this time? No public comments, okay, now we have board discussion, which is C1 for the proposed budget and for the tax rate. Board, any discussion, ladies and gentlemen? No? All right, perfect. We're all set. All right, call meeting order. Now we have a regular meeting. Let's do the pledge of allegiance on the Texas flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to the Texas, one state, under God, one indivisible.
Mr. Ralph, any leaders of prayer?
Yes, sir. Heavenly Father, we want to thank you for being here today. Please guide us, give us the wisdom to make the best decision for our students and for our community. In the name of Jesus Christ, amen.
Amen. Lupita, do we have any public audience? Yes, we do. Ms. Peña, pásale, ma'am. You want to help her out with the microphone, please?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, school board members, superintendent. The reason I'm here today is because I was approached by several parents and they want to start a band booster club. And I told them that I would help them, and previous years ago, Mr. Joel Martinez, we had started a club together, and we had the full support of the superintendent, and we would like to have the full support of the school board and the school districts. Once the ladies couldn't make it today because they're still at work, we will get together and set an appointment with who should we set an appointment with, Mr. Colorado?
Yes.
Okay, we will set an appointment with you, with the ladies, and, their goal is to have, like, uniforms. That's the goal that they have, and other items that they're requesting, that they haven't gotten for a long time. And basically, that is it for now, and,
Is that only for your band?
it's for the Progreso High School band,
Okay.
for the Progreso High School band, yes it is, yes. And, that's it, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. At this time, we got item A4 for the minutes for June 24, 2024, and July 10, 2024.
This someone motion to approve the minutes for June 4th and July 10th.
Motion by Garcia, second by Guerrero, all in favor say aye. Aye. Motion passes. This time, we go to B1 district reports.
Mr. Board President, members of the board, today was our first day of school. It was a very smooth day. I saw some details though. We had the police officer crossing the students, on the street. I talked to, Juan and to Ms. Aguilar because we want our staff to be there. Once Ms. Aguilar saw that the officer was crossing them, we didn't send any help, so, we're gonna fix that for tomorrow. We have the counts. High school has 412 students that have been registered. ETMS, 257. Elementary, 250. And early childhood, 362. Total of 1,281 still missing students, and also the migrant students that will come late October and beginning of November. Let me give you a report on the AC at the high school. It's working. We just need one unit. Train already got it, but in order to place that unit, which is close to the office area, they would have to shut everything down. So I told them, you know what, we have the unit, we can handle the office area right now. We want to make sure that the hallways and the classrooms are ready. So for this week, we're just gonna leave it like that. During the weekend, we're gonna shut everything out. We're gonna put it and then finalize that unit. On Saturday, we went out for RFQs. Let me give you the information. This is the RFQ for an engineer starting a project in the auditorium. The submission deadline would be September 16th at 11 a.m. And again, this one is our engineering services for the auditorium. Then we have good news. DTMS applied for the Emerson grant, and they got $15,000. This is gonna be for student incentives. They are trying to have robotics team. We were very excited to hear the news. $15,000 will be for our students at DTMS. Thank you very much for talking about the band. Our band program has been expanded for the past 3 years, and we do need the uniforms. We are working on it already with the finance department. We're planning to buy new uniforms. I'll keep you posted on that.
Perfect.
So that's all I have on the report. Do you have any questions?
Any questions for Mr. Guerrero?
Yeah, go ahead.
On the crosswalk, I see the middle school who walks a lot. Cross, we need to take care of that, for DTMS.
Got it.
In the area of DTMS. Also, on the uniforms, how old are the uniforms that they have right now for training and for the rest of the stuff? For all the athletics,
What do you mean?
because they're old. I know the
They for all the programs.
the
like
programs
birthdays,
for practice and all that stuff.
That's a good question. I don't have the answer right now, but let me get with the athletic director and we'll do a report for you.
I mean, can you answer that for us?
Yes, sir. We just passed, the last 3 years, we've begun to, get rid of all old uniforms, so the last 3 years, all high school and middle school programs have furnished brand uniforms for 17th and 13th at the middle school and for the high school. The only ones that, we were still lacking was football, but it was just because there's such large number. This year, because we did expand to a JV team, we have now ordered new uniforms for the JV team and new uniforms for the varsity team.
And maybe you're probably talking about the P, because we don't provide any of the P, right?
Yeah, PE, the kids will get their own stuff, we
We
just
don't
provide
provide any
something.
for the P.
We don't provide grades.
Nor other district does.
The other concern was the band, because I know I had a long text from parents, and I just wanted to make sure that the program's receiving the attention, the funds needed to continue, because as we've seen in social media and everywhere else, they've done really well. So we just want to continue supporting them.
And I met with our band director and we were playing with numbers, and in order for us to clean the ones that we had is investment. But if we buy them, I think it's gonna be better for the district, so.
I think we should go that route. Any other questions? No, we're just going for it. All right, thank you, sir. At this time, we're gonna be two discussion action to amend the local board policy to require recording live streaming for the school board meetings and related matters.
We have our attorney here, our brand new attorney, how are you doing? You wanna talk about,
Yes, so it would be board policy BE. It is our recommendation, that the district create a YouTube account and start streaming use the YouTube platform as opposed to a social media like Facebook or anything like that. YouTube actually creates a link that can then be shared with the public as opposed to Facebook. Not everyone has social media, not everyone has access. And then with all the live comments and all of that, we can run into issues such as a walking forum, getting into discussion and things like that. So our recommendation is that if you're going to live stream the meetings, that you do it through YouTube.
okay, as you can see, Mr. Pacina did a great job and he already got the new equipment. He's recording right now the meeting. We are gonna be posting our meetings on our website through YouTube. He already got the actual account for YouTube, so, if you guys decided today, which I recommend, and
Yeah.
it's a great move, let's do it.
So make sure, whoever does the motion, make sure it's on B, B2, B3, is that? B2.
Discussion action from the board.
Alright,
At this time, I make a motion to approve by the recommendation of our legal to go with the YouTube and live streaming.
motion made by Garcia, second by Miguel, all in favor say aye. Aye, motion passes. At this time, we're gonna do C1, C2, C3, C4, C5, C6, and C7, present each one. And then if you guys have any discussion or questions, we'll go back so we can do the motion. Because I know after that's gonna be Ms. Coronada and then of course Ms. Correa. So you go
Let
ahead.
me just give you a quick summary for C1. It's the smart boards. We're gonna order 20. We already paid some of them through T-Class. This ones we're paying through ESSER. And they will go 10 to DTMS and 10 to high school. And I'm very glad to say that elementary and early childhood, every classroom has a smart board. So we're very happy. We're now DTMS in high school. C2, T-Test, and it should say T-PES, not T-Test. They're running, as you can see, the agenda is here. So on that one, we're just presenting to you the appraisals for this year. The list is right there, and obviously the principals are gonna be the ones to evaluate the teachers and also their facilitators, and we put Ms. Correa and Ms. Coronado in case we need any other evaluations to be done. Then we have iStation that is used for intervention, for reading intervention. The good thing about this program is that we have it in English and Spanish, so we are recommending to move forward with it. Summit K-12, this is a TELPUS program for English development. We've used it for the past 2 years. It's working and it's really, really nice. Then we have Sharon Wells, as you know, we are using this math curriculum for elementary and for DTMS as well. We bring it to you because it's giving us results. Then we have the Region 1 distance learning. This one is a program that gives us the mandatory training for all of our staff. So if we want to give the modules to them, they can do it online. We don't have to gather everyone and have presenters every time we have to present those. And then the last one, the Megabyte, this one has to do with Region 1 as well, for technology, professional development, and also for the students. As I mentioned, we are planning to create our robotics team this year, and with this program, we can get the license to go compete. The good thing about all of this was is that we're gonna pay through ESSER monies for 2 years. because we saved, ESSER, so, if you, approve it today, it's not gonna come from our budget, it comes from ESSER. Any questions?
I do have a question.
Go
ahead.
So you're getting input from administrators and teachers just to make sure that the programs are being effective, yes?
Definitely,
We're looking at that.
yes, that's the most important thing, if the teachers don't use it, then.
Yeah,
There's
there's
always
no,
somebody.
we can have 100 programs and they're not
Exactly.
being used.
Yes, good question.
Any other questions?
Okay, at this time, make a motion to approve C one, C two, C three, C four, five, six, and seven as presented by Mr. Coronado.
Motion by Garcia, second by Guerrero, favor say aye. Aye. Motion passes. At this time, Ms. Coronel, will you C 8 through C 14?
Good afternoon, Mr. Board President, members of the board. C8, Texas Curriculum Management Program System, it's T-Score. That's the scope and sequence that we use, and it's cooperative between Region 1 and other regions in Texas. So that's pretty much the scope and sequence of the curriculum that the teachers follow. C9, the Progreso ISD Teacher Incentive Allotment Spending Plan. The two major changes that we made is, the first one is we get to keep 10% as a district. And we're using it to move into value-added measures. What that is that's what the state uses so you can validate. We are not only one of the first districts that have teacher incentive allotment district-wide, we're one of the first districts to use value-added measures. That's what Texas Tech uses so that you can get the funding. So we're just aligning better to the districts, and we're like the second district in Region 1 to use it.
Who's the third party member?
It's from Texas Tech. Yes. And then the other change is that this year they're allowing us to keep the funds for teachers that leave to other districts. The purpose of the teacher incentive allotment is to retain teachers. So based on the conversations with administrators is we wanted to keep the funds even if teacher were to leave to another district to ensure that we retain our teachers. So this year we have 2 teachers that left and the district retained the funding. So it was distributed amongst all teachers.
And there is transparency, right, for the teachers, like, if you get the TIA and then you leave. you're not
Yes,
getting-
we told them before they left that we were given an opportunity for them to stay and they chose to leave either way. So they do take because you get it for 5 years, you would receive it the following year in the
It would be
upcoming
in-
district. Exactly. Yeah. And then the next one is the Progressive Teacher Incentive Allotment Guidebook. So the changes in the guidebook is we applied for extension. So now we are gonna add kinder and first grade. This year is gonna be the data collection. And then that we're moving into value-added measure. And I think that's gonna give us more transparency, because in December, to your point, we're gonna do a mock, so that teachers know in their rank or where they're at, because that's one of the things that they asked. They wanted to know prior to getting the designation, where I'm at compared to the rest of the teachers. With the Progreso ISD Gifted and Talented Handbook, we are mandated by state to have the policies and procedures for how do we find kids that are qualified for gifted and talented, such as the lineates, the assessments that we use, and the surveys that the parents have to fill out in case that the students qualify for gifted and talented. State compensatory and bilingual education, again, these two are mandated by the states. Our manuals that just delineate how we're gonna spend the funds, that they're supplemental to what we do with 199 with local. And then the last one, library services. This just gives us access to Mac and Via and online books that are provided by Region 1. It's a cooperative with Region 1. Any questions?
Any questions this morning, Jim? No? Thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
14.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, at this time, I'll make a motion to approve C8, C9, C10, C11, C12, C13, C14 as presented by Ms. Guerrero.
Motion made by Mr. Garcia, second by Ms. Guerrero, in favor say aye. Aye. Motion passes. At this time, we go to C15 through C18. Ms. Correa will be taking the floor.
Good afternoon, board. I'm gonna present on, C15. And so that is just our agreement with Creative Arts Studio. That's a really, neat, since we don't offer, I know they were talking about the fine arts and the band and all that. We don't have very many, music groups or groups like that in our, and we don't as a district, so we were contracted last year with a company called Creative Arts Studio. And, they come and they provide at least 2 hours, 2 times a week at DTMS right now. And they've been doing, I don't know if you had an opportunity to see them, but they do Conjunto and they've done Folklórico. And And so I know they've done some presentations, so currently, last year we had 30 kiddos in folklorico and 24 in conjunto there. And, we'd like to continue it. It's not very expensive, it's like $30 an hour, and it's, like you said, twice a week. And so twice out of the week they come in person here, and then the other days, Ms. Molina has the kiddos doing something related to it, to those fine arts or music that we don't offer. And, our elementary would like to start that up also at the elementary, and that would help the kiddos already at elementary carry on to middle school, and then hopefully we can expand it more. So we'd like to do that. So we could set it up for district-wide in case some of the other schools like to. I know for sure elementary asked for it last year, and she asked again. And I told her we'd talk to you about it. So like we said, currently 54 students are utilizing that ETMS. And we just like to continue it and extend it.
We have 30 at the high school, so right now, they're servicing high school and DCMS. I know we talked about expanding it to the elementary, we haven't done it. We had, I have a meeting with UTRGV because, they do it as well, but they didn't send us the cost. So as soon as I get that, I'll let you know. So right now is DCMS and high school has it. If there's the opportunity to expand, either with them or with whoever it is, then I'll let you know.
Have you considered hiring an instructor just for this instead of outsourcing? Like to have an instructor in the district that actually travels from school to school?
We can do that, since this, group has about 3 or 4 that come with package. We have one, we did the math, it's a teacher with, the actual insurance, benefits and everything, it's about $70,000. Right now with this company, we're paying, about $50,000 on a yearly basis for both campuses, overall, yes. That's it, it's just, but
Or
that's.
just for 2 days, we would have somebody that would serve the students fully.
Um,
Would help the teacher.
Yes, there's a rotation, we can look into it, I'll look into it.
Just a comparison.
Yeah, this is a comparison. They're doing grades and everything, that's well, I think, we'll
Yes, we do it
definitely.
as part of a court, like a class, and then, they'd also like to expand to mariachi. Just giving you, said administrators would love mariachi too, and they do offer it. So again, things to consider, but for sure they wanna continue at least.
Because I know when I was here,
They
it
had
wasn't
it.
very consistent, and the grades, I didn't see those 2 grades, maybe it's improved from 3-4 years ago, but I just
Oh,
want.
so they were here since.
Oh, yes, I was here, I remember.
I know I've seen the shows when I actually.
No, I love the performance, I'm just thinking about the instructor and
Yeah,
the
just
time
structure.
allocated to.
Like it would give more dedication if they were here fully, like they could, go into getting the actual attire for the dances as opposed to just wearing like the practice skirts. Like each region has their thing, which we have back in high school when I was in. We had,
Like, we have an actual.
we had a teacher, well, she was a
Teacher.
Spanish teacher doing folklorico, but we had the Jalisco, la Veracruz, all the different attires, the Tamaulipas, everything. Like, as opposed to just, performing with practice skirts.
The good thing about this is not a contract, it's just an agreement, we can tell them, yeah, if we find something that we, have to adjust, we should stop. It's not a contract, it's just an agreement.
Yeah, and it explains it here also at the end of the Mr. Governor always said that, we're not mandated to stay within those terms. But they would like to keep it. And then I have the next one, is C16 and MOU agreement with Texas Tropical Behavioral Health Services. We've also been doing that for several years, and I highly recommend, especially as the licensed psychologist for the school district too. And, being part of our MTSS team, so we're doing a multi-tier system of support, and that includes the mental health aspect of the individual student. This program is really, really good. One, if we ever have a crisis and our nurse needs that second call, they, usually need you to come in and evaluate to see if the child needs more services outside of school, as far as to be taken for, Texas Tropical Services, any kind of section, you try to stay away, but if needed, then they provide that. But the best one is that any of our students who receive services from Texas Tropical, our parents don't tend to make the appointments, because it's hard to get their child there. And the hours also, so that partnership allows our district to let them come to our schools. We provide them the room that they need and access to the child, and they are able to provide those services. I think it's also great because we don't have licensed social workers for the school district. And so these individuals are licensed social workers that do come with our work with our students. And like I said, it's pairing services, or bridging services. My parent can't get you there, but we can bring them to you. And, so again, we've been doing this for several years, so we're just asking to continue the agreement, with Texas Tropical Services, with your permission. So that is the Texas Tropical. And then we have, C-17, interlocal agreement with South Texas College, dual credit program. Again, that's another program I really had to recommend. This is where, we have an agreement with the STC, and our students at secondary, I think they have to be in ninth grade and above the second semester, or they can start participating and earning dual credit at, South Texas IC. I'm sorry, that's a good question too. And it's South Texas College. So our students, it's what we do dual, they hire our teachers as long as they meet certain agreements, they have to follow the rules of grading. So in here, it explains to you how we've been doing it the past years. And so again, this is something I know, similar to the other, contract, it's hard for kiddos to get there to receive those college hours. So bringing it to our district and providing them transportation for those courses, I think is a huge plus, to our students in our community. So, if there's any questions, I can go over those too, but that's just in a nutshell. The last one that I have here is, C-18, Health and Human Services Commission, our early childhood intervention services. Again, we've been partnering with them for several years. That's just any child under the age of 3, who have a disability. There's several programs, Easter Seals, Region 1, that, start providing services. And school district begin at age 3, unless they're deaf or hard of hearing, and we begin at birth. But I partner with them, as far as providing services. And so this is just letting us know that, like 90 days before child turns 3, we start the transition process. So we start testing students under IDA, regulations. So by the time they're 3, we already have an IEP in place for the student, and they can start, receiving services at age 3. And so again, another program that's really good. And so I just recommend, there's no cost for it, we continue that partnership, with them as our child find, NECI services.
That's it.
Yes, sir.
Any questions? All right. Thank you, Ms. Cora.
Thank you.
Okay, at this time, make a motion to approve, C-15, 16, 17, 18, as presented by Ms. Cora.
Motion made by Mr. Garcia, second by, Ms. Guerrero, and say aye. Aye. Motion passes. At this time, we go to support services. We have D1 with the HVAC quotes. Is that you, Mr. Hernandez?
Good afternoon, sir. This should went out for quotes for HVAC units at the middle school. I'm sorry, this is for the North Elementary. We did receive 2 quotes from Train and Centerstone. They're both, approved vendors for purchasing for purchasing for. We are recommending to go with the lowest vendor. These basically $700 is very compatible, so we request to go with the lowest.
What was the lowest one, sir?
Centerstone.
Any questions on the HVAC quotes? Questions, concerns?
At this time, Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to approve D1, the recommendation of Centerstone Services for the HVAC.
Motion by Garcia, second by Varela, say aye. Aye, motion passes. At this time, we go to D2 to review the truck quotes.
Mr. Board President, members of the board, as we discussed last time, this is the 3rd time that we went out for bids for the, track project. And, just a little history, last year we went out twice and we just got 1 bidder at the time, and I didn't feel comfortable. I told the board, you know what, it's just one, I don't see any comparison, so, let's reject it. And this time, 8 people came and got the, actual information to follow the process, but only 1 came in on time. And we had another company that came at 11:11. We did not open the actual envelope, and it's right there. I told my, you know what, don't open it, leave it like that. So my recommendation right now would be to reject the bid because it's only one again, and I wanna be consistent with what we've been doing, and I don't feel comfortable just having one. And right now, we were talking about transparency, and I wanna make sure that the community and everyone knows that we're gonna be transparent with this and every single project. So if you allow me, we would reject this bid, and if you want me, we would go out for bids again until we have at least 2 or 3 on time, because that's another rule. If they come in late, we're not gonna allow, whoever it is, we're not gonna allow that.
Let me ask you a question, Juan, on the bidding process, it's only on the newspaper that we could show vendors across the state of Texas, or?
In the newspaper, we send it to Bible vendors or protocol vendors.
So they get the flag saying, you know what, there's,
And I think, Fulcrum, there's a program that they have and they, with all the construction companies.
so they're aware of that.
Yes, and I've seen it. Companies wait until the last minute to turn it in, and then situations happen. But just to make it clear to everyone, once they bring it, the deadline was at 11 a.m. We have a meeting with whoever is here in public setting. We open the envelope, we open the information, and we read it to the public. But again, we just have one, and I don't feel comfortable with it, so my recommendation would be to reject it.
Can we open up the bid and close it soon and then have a special?
So the bid's already closed.
No.
Open it up again.
Oh, yes, of course, yes.
We would have to follow the process, cause, we put it
Because the thing is
whatever.
that the track and the whole field thing has to be done by second semester. I mean, that was their goal.
Yes.
So what's the earliest that we could start off the bidding? I mean, put it in the newspaper, what's?
The rule is at least 14 days, legal 14 days in the newspaper, so we have to advertise.
Do we got to take action on that?
We have to take action of the rejection, and if we have consensus.
Can it be part of the motion, or no, cause it's,
No, just the
So
track
just-
post, if you
yeah.
wanted to start it again.
That'll be another- you would have to get another meeting.
We can pose for special board
I agree.
meeting just for that item.
yeah, we do just need to call up bids. I
So
agree.
this first memo, we table.
No, you're not gonna take, you're gonna do the motion to reject.
Reject.
Okay.
You're not gonna do
We
that.
can give them more time, I think it's just 14 days is required.
But the thing is that we already had some that wanted to turn it in, but they were late, so.
Yes.
Yes, correct, and,
Ah, so it's.
yes, but, and then we had 8 people who picked it up as well.
So what we're gonna do,
Got it.
we're gonna reject it right now. I'll let you know when the special board meeting.
Yeah, reason being we can't table is because then we would have to bring it to the next item, and then bring it to the next meeting, so we don't wanna do it. That's what, let's do the motion to
At
reject.
this time, Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to reject
Sure.
the track votes.
Second.
Motion to reject, Mr. Garcia, second, Ms. Guerrero, Ms. Burchett.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. At this time, we're gonna review and approve, contract with the Educational Research Institute.
Mr. Board President, members of the board, I had the opportunity to meet with our finance department and Ms. Alanis, who is a representative for Educational Research Institute. And we were very impressed with the product that they give us. She and the company would be in charge of looking for grants, meeting with us, seeing if we need help with them. And there's 1 or 2 that we already said, you know what, 20% free, if it's coming out, we need help. Lasso, if you guys can help us out, let's move forward. So the recommendation for administration would be to approve the contract with Educational Research Institute.
Any questions on that item? All right,
At this time, I'll make a motion to approve, the contract with the Educational Research Institute as presented by Mr. Corona.
motion by Mr. Garcia, second by Ms. Flores, all in favor say aye. Aye, motion passes. This time we go to cash disbursements, Mr. Hernandez.
The search total cash disbursements for the month of July is $467,086.30. This is for your information.
Hold on, Mr. Hernandez, any questions on the cash disbursement that you guys saw on the packet? All right, continue.
There was information only, or?
Yeah, information only.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Two, investment report, total current earnings is $45,978, with total investment, $10,222,000. And we request the approval of the investment report.
Any questions? No questions.
Okay, at this time, I'll make a motion to approve the investment report as presented by Mr. Fernandez.
Motion by Garcia, second by Varela, all in favor say aye. Aye, motion passes. At this time, tax collection?
Yes, sir, total tax collection today is 2.8 million, with the total outstanding taxes of $599.
Compared from last year, we're on the same,
Same boat or better?
We're about 87%, we're a little low.
okay. Any questions on tax collection?
This information?
No, we
I need a motion.
Okay, this time I need a motion, I'll make a motion to approve the tax collection report as presented by Mr. Hernandez.
Motion by Garcia, second by Varela, all in favor say aye. Aye, motion passes. Budget amendment, do we have one?
Yes, we have a budget amendment, and this should basically, cover some of the overexpenditure during the function, and this is the last budget amendment, for the year. We did receive a check from the insurance company of $156,000. So we increased the revenue.
That's it?
Yes.
Any questions?
This time make a motion to approve the budget amendment as presented by Mr. Hernandez.
Motion Garcia, second Varela, all in favor say aye. Aye, motion passes. Budget update?
Yes, sir, total revenues received as of July, 17 million, total expenditures, 14 million, total encumbrances, 1 million. And this is for your information.
Thank you. Preliminary 2023-24 first report, is that you?
Yes, sir. Yes, we're happy to announce that the Progreso ISD received a rating of A for the 23-24 school year. This is the preliminary report only, doesn't require an approval. Later on, we're gonna come back again with the presentation and we have to approve it. Right now, it's just preliminary. It gives the districts, an option to appeal the rating, which in this case is not.
Good job, Juan. I have seven certified total for the Hidalgo County Appraisal District.
Yes, sir, total certified total from the Hidalgo County are, the net taxable are 285 million. And we're requesting the approval of, that's some language on the cover sheet, they need to be read as it states for the motion.
Seven, the cover sheet, they,
At this time, make a motion to accept the certified totals from the Hidalgo County Appraisal District. Oh, okay. All right, this time I make a motion to approve the approval to accept the certified appraisal roll for tax year 2024 for the Progreso Independent School District is recommended to the board.
motion by Garcia, motion by Garcia, second by Varela, say aye. Aye, motion passes. At this time, we go to F8.
This is a resolution to designate and approve the person that's gonna work on the tax rate, which is the finance director. Also as well, there's some language that needs to be, read and said the way it is on the cover sheet.
Questions?
Any questions? I'm sorry. No?
Yes?
Wait,
Sorry.
I think it's you.
Mr. Chairman, at this time, I make a motion to approve the resolution designating the finance director as the individual authorized to calculate the no new revenue tax rate, the voter approval tax rate, and the truth in taxation requirements.
Motion by Mr. Garcia, second by Ms. Varela, all in favor say aye. Aye, motion passes. At this time, we get F9.
So we can go to this to F10 first.
Okay. Go ahead, Mr. Reyes.
Yes, sir, this is basically, after I get approved to work on the tax rate, with the county and with the, financial advisor, we work on this worksheet to come out with the new revenue tax rate, which is 1.07, and our board approved tax rate, which is 1.8229. So at this time, we're requesting the approval to accept the non-new revenue tax rate and the board approved tax rate.
All right, any questions on this item? No?
All right, at this time, make a motion to accept the no new revenue tax rate and the
Motion by Garcia, second by Guerrero, all in favor say aye. Aye. Motion passes. We go to F9?
This is a resolution to make a disaster finding, which the code sends, and set the tax rate for the tax year 2024. And this page, it's a long page, long motion that needs to, they were provided by the attorney, that also as well needs to be, so, the motion needs to be the way it is on the page.
Any questions?
On the other paper?
We're talking about F9, right?
That's nine. No.
Which one?
It was on a separate paper. I'm doing the whole thing? Okay.
Hold on. Any questions? This is,
It was the juice.
this one. Questions? Yep.
As soon as you raise 19.66%.
Yes, that's based on the new no new tax revenue. That was last.
Mr. Chairman, at this time, make a motion to approve the board of trustees adopt a resolution as presented by making certain findings under the Texas Education Code 26.042E concerning selling the maintenance and operations of the debt services tax rates of the Progreso Independent School District for the year beginning on January 1st, 2024, ending on December 31st, 2024. And further, I move that the district maintenance and operation tax rate on the $100 valuation to be adopted immediately for the tax year beginning on January 1st, 2024, and ending on December 31st, 2024, in the amount of 0.7892 cents on the $100 valuation payable in the local currency of the United States for the support and maintenance of the public schools of Progreso Independent School District. And that the district debt services interest income fund tax rate on the $100 valuation to be adopted immediately for the tax year beginning on January 1st, 2024, and ending December 31st, 2024, in the amount of 0.3137 cents on the $100 valuation payable to the local currency of the United States for payment, principal, and interest payments of approval and addition upon indebtedness of the Progreso Independent School District. This tax rate will raise more taxes to maintenance and operations than last year's tax rate. The tax rate will effectively be raised to 19.86% and will raise taxes on maintenance and operations of $100,000 homes by approximately $120.
Well, motion by Mr. Garcia, second by Guerrero, all in favor say aye. Aye. Motion passes.
And finally, we have,
Adoption?
yes,
Okay, go ahead.
approve the budget of 24-25 budget.
One question, we need to decide how much money we want to do here.
Do we have to do it now, or can we talk about it in executive session?
If you want to take it for executive session, it will be under legal advice and personnel. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
We'll talk in the executive session with Monday, so. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Yes, and we just require the approval of the budget of 24-25.
Okay, at this time, make a motion to accept the adoption budget for the general fund and city debt service as presented by Mr. Hernandez.
At this time, we have a motion by Garcia, second by Guerrero, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. At this time, it's 6:48, and we go to executive session.